to talk about the evidence or the lack thereof, and let's talk about this latest investigation of Judge Kavanaugh. I know we can't talk down into the specifics, but let's talk about what we can talk about. And that is, we now know that there were sought after 11 people. The FBI actually talked to 10 people, and now there are 12 302s, they call them. What's a 302?
Yeah, so it's a federal document 302 is what's used by the FBI. Two agents typically go out to conduct an interview of a witness, and that's the document that's used to take the notes for that interview. And as you said, we got to remember, this is a supplemental investigation. It was not a criminal investigation. It was to confirm or deny the allegations brought against Judge Kavanaugh by Dr. Ford and Ms. Ramirez. And it was specific and limited in scope to do that, and that's exactly what was done. The FBI actually went above and beyond what they were even asked to do to see if there was any firsthand accounts from individuals there on those specific nights to see if they could either confirm or discredit those two women's allegations. And that's what was done thoroughly with integrity by the FBI.
Right, and you did a lot of counterintelligence type stuff when you were with the FBI. Have you ever worked on a case that was 35 years old? And if you have, how would you approach it? You'd approach it just the way the FBI is, right? There's not going to be any evidence. There's not going to be any swabs. There's not going to be any DNA for you to work with. You're going to have to go back in time through the minds of witnesses and depose them, correct?
That's absolutely correct, especially with it being this far in length in nature. I was a counterterrorism special agent, so that's what I primarily worked on. But with these, and people need to do a separation of what a supplemental background investigation is for a Supreme Court nominee versus what a criminal investigation is, because they're two separate worlds and they're not done with the same investigative techniques. But interviews are done across the board, and FBI is very competent and confident in doing those.
The Democrats and the folks who are opposed to Judge Kavanaugh say, hey, wait a minute, they didn't even interview the accuser. They didn't even interview the accused. Well, I would say why? They're both on record. They've both been sworn in under oath. They've given their statements. So really, there's no reason for the FBI to go and interview them again, is there?
No, they were already on, gave testimony of their sides of the story. There's no reason to exhaust that. The whole scope was limited in nature to go see if there was anyone to corroborate or discredit. And so that's the last ditch effort of the Democrats to try to sling mud, to do whatever they can. And even from Dr. Ford's lawyers now saying, why did they not release to the Senate Judiciary Committee the therapy notes, the polygrapher notes from Dr. Ford's account? They've never given that information up. And so it's a last-ditch effort to try to cause divisiveness, discord, and rage on their followers within the Democratic Party.
As a former FBI agent and you paying attention to what is going on and all the actors and characters in this sad affair that have been brought forth by the modern Democrat Party and their search and destroy mission, one name stands out to me that I would want to speak with, and this is Mark Judge person. Is that the number one person that you would like to speak with in this whole equation?
Mark Judge was a critical component of that. I think not only to go with the specific allegation that Dr. Ford made, but then also to get a little bit of a scope of what behaviors were prevalent in Judge Kavanaugh's behavior at that time. I think really the Miss Ramirez interview, and then the three associates that the FBI did in fact interview, right, after Miss Ramirez, that was going to make or break Judge Kavanaugh's review in this. And it looks as though, from the limited information we have on the executive summary, that there was no smoking gun, there was no corroboration of those allegations.
There's nothing there, in other words. And there are major problems with the accuser's story and the accuser's testimony. I want to go through a few of them with you. Number one, she wasn't consistent about when the alleged assault happened, struggled to identify Kavanaugh as the assailant by name, no memory of key details of the night in question, and not offered any real consistent account of the alleged assault. It's common when you're interviewing people, just human beings, that they remember specific dates birthdays or anniversaries, and certainly a life-altering event, you're probably, right, more than likely, human nature, you're probably going to remember the date or pretty close to it.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.